Hello, I'm Maruk Said, your microbiology guide. Let's explore in-depth micro techniques and uncover groundbreaking insight together on this educational journey into the fascinating realms of microbes.
Nitrogen cycle explained. Table of contents. Nitrogen cycle key terms. Introduction to nitrogen cycle. Importance of nitrogen in ecosystems. Steps of nitrogen cycle. Significance of nitrogen cycle. Human influence on the nitrogen cycle. Consequences of nitrogen cycle disruption. Mitigation strategies against nitrogen pollution. Conclusion. Nitrogen cycle key terms. Nitrogen fixation, the process in which atmospheric nitrogen gas, N2, is converted into ammonia, either by the action of lightning or by nitrogen-fixing bacteria. Nitrification, the biological process in which ammonia is oxidized and converted into nitrites, and then further into nitrates. Ammonification, the process by which dead plants and animals, along with organic waste, are decomposed by microorganisms to release ammonia. Denitrification, the process in which nitrates and nitrites are reduced and converted back into gaseous forms of nitrogen, such as nitrogen gas, N2. If you have watched till here, don't forget to subscribe to Family of Science Lovers. Press the bell icon button so you are always updated. Introduction to nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen cycle refers to the continuous movement of nitrogen between the atmosphere, biosphere, and geosphere in various chemical forms, and is considered one of the major biogeochemical cycles. It can also be described as the movement of nitrogen through the food chain, starting from simple inorganic compounds, mainly ammonia, and progressing to complex organic nitrogen compounds. The nitrogen cycle is a complex process that involves the interaction of microorganisms, plants, and animals. All living organisms have the ability to convert ammonia, NH3, into organic nitrogen compounds, which are characterized by the presence of carbon-nitrogen, CN bonds. However, only a limited group of microorganisms possess the ability to synthesize ammonia directly from atmospheric nitrogen gas, N2. Although nitrogen gas, N2, constitutes about 80% of the Earth's atmosphere, it is chemically unreactive and must be converted into other forms before it can be utilized by living organisms. Within the biosphere, a dynamic balance exists between the total inorganic forms of nitrogen and the total organic forms of nitrogen. The conversion of organic nitrogen into inorganic nitrogen occurs through processes such as catabolism, denitrification, and the decay of organic matter. Importance of nitrogen in ecosystems. Nitrogen is essential for sustaining life on Earth because it is a fundamental component of key biomolecules, including amino acids, proteins, nucleic acids, and chlorophyll. It plays a central role in controlling primary productivity in ecosystems by supporting plant growth, which forms the base of terrestrial and aquatic food webs. Adequate and balanced nitrogen availability enhances soil fertility, increases biomass production, and improves crop yields, thereby contributing directly to food security. In aquatic ecosystems, nitrogen is crucial for the growth and development of phytoplankton, which drive oceanic primary production and play a major role in global carbon cycling. Despite its abundance in the atmosphere, biologically available nitrogen is often limited in ecosystems, creating a constraint on overall ecosystem productivity. Due to this limitation, Nitrogen functions both as a valuable resource and as a regulating factor within ecological systems. Through its availability and cycling, nitrogen influences biodiversity, species interactions, and major biogeochemical fluxes within ecosystems. Download our microbiology study app made for researchers like you. Steps of nitrogen cycle. 1. Nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is the first stage of the nitrogen cycle and involves the reduction of atmospheric nitrogen gas into ammonia. This process is carried out by a limited group of microorganisms called diazotrophs, which possess the enzyme nitrogenase that combines nitrogen atoms with hydrogen atoms. Diazotrophs include free-living soil bacteria, such as Klebsiella and Azotobacter, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, and symbiotic bacteria, mainly Rhizobium. The amount of nitrogen fixed by diazotrophic microorganisms is estimated to be around 10 to the 11th kilograms per year, accounting for approximately 60% of the Earth's newly fixed nitrogen. Lightning and ultraviolet radiation contribute about 15% of nitrogen fixation by converting atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogen oxides, while the remaining portion comes from industrial processes. Ammonia can also be produced by the reduction of nitrate ions present in soil, a process carried out by most plants and microorganisms. The ammonia produced through nitrogen fixation and nitrate reduction can be assimilated by all organisms. The overall reaction of nitrogen fixation is: 1 molecule of nitrogen gas reacts with 3 molecules of hydrogen gas to form 2 molecules of ammonia. This reaction is catalyzed by the nitrogenase enzyme complex, consisting of a reductase and an iron molybdenum-containing nitrogenase. At least 16 ATP molecules are hydrolyzed to form 2 molecules of ammonia. In Rhizobium, leghemoglobin protects nitrogenase from inactivation by oxygen. Classification of nitrogen. Fixation. Atmospheric fixation occurs naturally when energy from lightning converts nitrogen into nitrogen oxides that plants can utilize. Industrial nitrogen fixation is a human-driven process in which nitrogen and hydrogen react to form ammonia, which is later converted into fertilizers such as urea. Biological nitrogen fixation involves bacteria such as Rhizobium and blue-green algae, converting atmospheric nitrogen into forms that can be utilized by plants and animals and fixed into the soil. 2. Nitrification. Nitrification is a 2-step process in which ammonia is converted into nitrate. In the first step, soil bacteria, such as Nitrosomonas and Nitrococcus, oxidize ammonia into nitrite. In the second step, Nitrobacter oxidizes nitrite into nitrate. These nitrifying bacteria are chemotrophs that obtain energy from chemical reactions involving inorganic compounds. Both steps of nitrification are aerobic and require oxygen. The conversion of ammonium to nitrite occurs optimally at a pH range of 4 to 10, while the conversion of nitrite to nitrate occurs best at a pH range of 6 to 9. Optimum conditions for nitrification: adequate soil aeration, optimum temperature range of 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, adequate soil moisture, sufficient exchangeable bases, particularly calcium, availability of NPK nutrients, a low carbon to nitrogen (CN) ratio. Nitrification reactions: 2 units of ammonium react with 3 units of oxygen to yield 2 units of nitrite, 4 units of hydrogen ions, and 2 units of water. 2 units of nitrite react with 1 unit of oxygen to yield 2 units of nitrate. 3. Nitrogen assimilation. Nitrogen assimilation is the process by which inorganic nitrogen is converted into organic nitrogen-containing compounds. Plants and animals incorporate nitrate and ammonia formed during nitrogen fixation and nitrification. All organisms assimilate ammonia primarily through two enzymatic reactions, catalyzed by glutamate dehydrogenase and glutamine synthetase. These reactions lead to the formation of the amino acids glutamate and glutamine. The amino nitrogen in glutamate and the amide nitrogen in glutamine are further used in biosynthetic pathways to form other nitrogen-containing compounds. Glutamate dehydrogenase. This enzyme catalyzes the reductive amination of alpha-ketoglutarate, an intermediate of the citric acid cycle. Although the reaction is reversible, NADPH acts as the reductant during biosynthesis. The enzyme also plays a role in amino acid catabolism. Glutamine synthetase. Glutamine synthetase catalyzes the incorporation of ammonia into glutamine using energy from ATP hydrolysis. It is termed a synthetase because ATP is required for bond formation, unlike syntheses which do not require ATP. Plants absorb nitrate and ammonium through their roots and incorporate them into proteins and nucleic acids. Animals obtain nitrogen by consuming plants or other animals that have already assimilated nitrogen. 4. Ammonification. Nitrogen assimilation results in large amounts of organic nitrogen in the form of proteins, amino acids, and nucleic acids. Ammonification is the process by which organic nitrogen is converted into ammonia. Organic nitrogen from dead plants, animals, and soil organisms is decomposed into ammonium through mineralization. Mineralization converts organic matter into ammonium ion, a usable nutrient ion. A wide range of soil organisms, including bacteria and fungi, are involved in ammonification. These organisms utilize carbon and energy from organic matter while releasing nitrogen as ammonia. Ammonia is also released through excretion and becomes available for nitrification or assimilation. 5. Denitrification. Denitrification is the process by which nitrate is reduced to gaseous nitrogen forms, such as nitrogen gas and nitrous oxide. This process is carried out by denitrifying bacteria and results in the loss of nitrogen from the soil into the atmosphere. Denitrification occurs only under conditions of low or no oxygen, such as in waterlogged soils or near the water table. Wetlands are especially important in reducing excess nitrogen through denitrification. Conditions favoring denitrification: lack of adequate oxygen, availability of oxidizable organic matter as an energy source for bacteria, warm, slightly acidic soil conditions. Significance of nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen cycle explains the interrelationship between the various forms of nitrogen present in soil, water, air, and living organisms. It is termed a cycle because nitrogen continuously moves from one location to another and changes its chemical form, yet it is never completely lost from the Earth system. The nitrogen cycle is essential because neither plants nor animals are capable of utilizing atmospheric nitrogen directly, and therefore rely on the process of nitrogen fixation to make nitrogen available in usable forms. Nitrogen is a vital element, as it is a fundamental component of DNA, RNA, and proteins, which serve as the basic building blocks of life. All living organisms require nitrogen for survival, growth, and proper functioning. Nitrogen is an integral part of amino acids and nucleic acids, and also forms a key component of ATP, the primary energy currency of living organisms. Human influence on the nitrogen cycle. Human activities over the past century have significantly altered the natural global nitrogen cycle. The industrial fixation of nitrogen through the Haber-Bosch process, used for the production of synthetic fertilizers, has introduced large quantities of reactive nitrogen into terrestrial ecosystems. The combustion of fossil fuels releases nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere, which contribute to air pollution problems such as smog, acid rain, and the formation of ground-level ozone. The expansion of agricultural practices and the widespread use of nitrogen-based fertilizers have led to excessive nutrient runoff into freshwater and marine ecosystems. This nutrient enrichment causes eutrophication, which promotes excessive algal growth, leads to oxygen depletion, hypoxia, and results in the loss of aquatic biodiversity. Livestock production is another major source of nitrogen pollution, primarily due to the release of ammonia from animal manure into the environment. Consequences of nitrogen cycle disruption. Disruption of the nitrogen cycle leads to long-term ecological as well as social consequences. An excess of reactive nitrogen in soils and water bodies creates nutrient imbalances that alter plant community composition, reduce biodiversity, and destabilize natural food webs. In aquatic ecosystems, excessive nitrogen input results in eutrophication, which leads to the formation of low oxygen regions known as dead zones and causes large-scale mortality of aquatic organisms. Nitrogen-containing compounds in the atmosphere, particularly nitrous oxide, act as potent greenhouse gases and contribute significantly to climate change and ozone layer depletion. Excessive nitrogen inputs into soils promote soil acidification, which degrades soil health and interferes with the ability of plants to absorb essential nutrients. As a result, disrupted nitrogen cycling poses serious challenges to sustainable agriculture and long-term ecosystem stability. Mitigation strategies against nitrogen pollution. Mitigation of nitrogen pollution requires an integrated combination of technological, ecological, and policy-based strategies. One effective approach is optimizing fertilizer application based on crop requirements and detailed soil analysis, as practiced in precision agriculture, to reduce excessive nitrogen inputs. The adoption of organic farming practices and the use of biological nitrogen fixation through leguminous crops provides sustainable alternatives to synthetic nitrogen fertilizers. Establishing buffer zones around rivers, lakes, and other water bodies, along with the development of constructed wetlands, helps capture nitrogen runoff and reduces the risk of eutrophication. Strong environmental regulations and effective policymaking, such as controlling nitrogen oxide emissions and promoting sustainable agricultural practices, are essential for managing human-driven nitrogen fluxes. Public education and awareness campaigns play a crucial role in encouraging the responsible use of nitrogen and reducing pollution at both individual and community levels. Overall, there is a pressing need for an integrated, systems-based approach that minimizes the harmful impacts of nitrogen cycle disruption while maintaining food production and essential ecosystem services. Conclusion. The nitrogen cycle is a fundamental natural process that is essential for sustaining life on Earth. It enables the transformation of inert atmospheric nitrogen into biologically usable forms that can be utilized by living organisms. Through these transformations, the nitrogen cycle supports primary productivity and helps maintain the complex web of life in both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. With the growing demand for increased agricultural productivity, there is an urgent need to adopt sustainable policies and practices that align with ecological principles. Enhancing our understanding of nitrogen dynamics is critical for managing ecosystems effectively and responsibly. The integration of scientific innovations into ecosystem-based management strategies will play a key role in restoring and maintaining balance within the nitrogen cycle. Ultimately, safeguarding the integrity of the nitrogen cycle is vital not only for environmental resilience, but also for the health and well-being of present and future generations. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon button. Thank you!